They say intelligence is a gift that brings people closer. That the more you understand the world, the easier it becomes to belong within it. That awareness builds bridges and clarity deepens connection. But reality often unfolds in a quieter, more complex way. Because sometimes the more clearly you see, the more distant everything begins to feel. Conversations lose their depth before they lose their sound. Patterns emerge in places that once felt spontaneous. And the world that once felt open and full of possibility begins to feel structured, almost rehearsed in ways that are difficult to ignore. So why do some of the most intelligent people begin to withdraw, not out of pride but out of something quieter, something harder to explain? Why does understanding create distance instead of connection? And what happens inside a mind that sees more than it can easily express yet rarely feels fully understood in return? This is not about arrogance, and it is not about loneliness in the way it is often described. It is something more subtle, a silent shift between awareness and belonging. In this reflection, something deeper will be explored: the psychology of why intelligent people often prefer being alone. Let's begin. The beginning is rarely dramatic. It does not arrive with a clear decision or a sudden rejection of the world. It begins in small, almost invisible moments, like erosion beneath still water. A conversation that feels slightly out of rhythm. A response that seems predictable before it is even spoken. A joke that once felt light, now feeling hollow. A silence that feels more natural than participation. At first it is easy to dismiss. Easy to assume it is just mood or fatigue or distraction. But over time the feeling returns again and again. You begin to notice patterns, not just in what people say but in how they say it and why they say it. You notice repetition, not just in words but in emotional responses and reactions, in the way situations unfold in similar cycles across different people and different environments. And once that awareness settles in, it does not easily leave. It becomes part of how you perceive everything. What once felt engaging now feels familiar in a way that no longer stimulates. What once felt spontaneous now feels like something already seen, already understood, already processed before it fully happens. And slowly something inside you begins to shift. Not because people have changed, but because your perception has deepened. And with that depth comes a quiet distance. Not intentional, not forced, but almost inevitable. You begin to pull back slightly. You speak a little less. You observe a little more. You remain present, but something inside you steps away just enough to create space. And sometimes even you cannot fully explain why. It is not discomfort in the usual sense. It is not rejection. It is simply a quiet recognition that things no longer feel the same. Awareness is often praised as a strength but rarely understood as a weight. Because to see deeply is also to carry more than what is visible. When the mind does not easily switch off, when thoughts continue long after moments have passed, when every interaction leaves behind a trail of reflection, something begins to accumulate. Not noise but depth. And depth has a weight that is not always obvious but always present. You begin to notice not just what is happening but what lies beneath, what could happen, what might unfold if certain patterns continue. The mind becomes like a river that never stops flowing, carrying fragments of memory, possibility, meaning, and interpretation all at once. Even in silence it continues to move. Even in stillness it does not fully rest. This constant motion creates a kind of quiet exhaustion. Not physical but emotional. Because being present in social spaces often requires a certain level of simplicity, a willingness to stay on the surface of things. But when your mind naturally moves deeper, that surface begins to feel limiting.
It's over now.
Like trying to compress an ocean into a small contained space. So solitude begins to take on a different meaning. Not as isolation but as relief. A space where the mind does not have to filter itself, where thoughts can exist without interruption, without needing to be simplified or translated into something easier for others to understand. And in that space something begins to soften. Not because the thoughts disappear, but because they no longer have to compete with the constant noise around you. There is a kind of emptiness that exists not in isolation but in crowded environments. It is the emptiness of conversations that never reach depth. Words that fill space but do not carry weight. Interactions that move but do not arrive anywhere meaningful. At first it may not feel like a problem. It may even feel normal because it is common. But over time something begins to feel missing. Not excitement, not entertainment, but something quieter, something more substantial, something real. Because when the mind is used to exploring ideas, questioning meanings, and moving beneath the surface of things, shallow interaction begins to feel incomplete. Like standing at the edge of a well that never reveals its depth no matter how long you look into it. Conversations begin to repeat themselves in subtle ways. The same ideas, the same emotional responses, the same patterns appearing again and again in different forms. And it is not that others lack intelligence. It is that the depth you seek is not always shared in the same way. So you listen. You respond. You participate. But something inside you remains slightly removed. Not disconnected, just not fully engaged. And over time silence becomes more comfortable than speaking. Not because there is nothing to say, but because what could be said would not always be understood in the way it is intended. So silence becomes a form of preservation. A way to protect something internal from being reduced, simplified, or misunderstood. Inside that silence something else begins to grow. An inner world that expands quietly without needing validation from the outside. Thoughts stretch further. Ideas connect in ways that feel intricate and alive. Reflections deepen into something that feels more like a landscape than a moment. And in that space you are not limited by interruption or expectation. You can follow a thought wherever it leads without needing to pause and explain it or reshape it into something more acceptable. The inner world becomes rich not because the outer world lacks value, but because this space offers something rare. Depth without resistance. Presence without performance. Clarity without noise. And slowly this internal space begins to feel more complete, more engaging, more fulfilling than external interaction. Not in a way that rejects others, but in a way that no longer depends on them for a sense of meaning. Being alone no longer feels like something missing. It feels like something found. A quiet fullness that exists without explanation. From the outside this shift is often misunderstood. Silence is interpreted as distance. Distance is mistaken for arrogance. And solitude is labeled as isolation or detachment. People may assume there is disinterest or coldness or a sense of superiority. But beneath that quiet exterior there is often something much deeper. A heightened sensitivity to detail. A constant awareness of subtle emotional shifts. A mind that processes more than it expresses. It is not that connection is unwanted. It is that meaningful connection is rare. And when something is rare, it cannot be replaced by something frequent but shallow. So instead of forcing interaction that feels empty, there is a quiet choice to step back. Not to avoid people, but to protect something internal. Because forcing connection can feel like erasing parts of yourself, like shrinking complex thoughts into simple statements, like pretending not to notice what is already clear. And over time that becomes heavier than solitude itself. So the distance remains. Not as rejection but as preservation. And yet within that distance there is still a quiet tension. A part of you that longs to be understood without needing to translate yourself. To share thoughts in their full form without needing to filter them. To connect in a way that feels real rather than performed. But that desire exists alongside another need. The need for peace. And sometimes those two do not align easily. Because connection often requires adjustment, compromise, and participation in spaces that do not always feel natural. While solitude offers stillness, clarity, and continuity. So there is a quiet conflict. A push and pull between stepping forward and stepping back. Between wanting to belong and wanting to remain aligned with yourself. Between engaging and preserving. And there is no simple resolution. Only awareness. And understanding that both desires can exist at the same time without canceling each other. That it is possible to seek connection while still protecting peace. And in that awareness something begins to shift again. Not outwardly but internally. There is less questioning. Less comparison. Less wondering if something is wrong. Because what once felt like distance begins to feel like alignment. A recognition that solitude is not a flaw but a reflection of how the mind moves, how it processes, how it connects. And in that realization something softens. The need to force interaction fades. The pressure to explain disappears. And what remains is a quiet acceptance. A sense that being alone is not the absence of connection but a different form of it. A connection with thought, with awareness, with self. And in that space there is peace. Not loud, not overwhelming, just steady, grounded, and present. If something in this reflection felt familiar, if parts of it echoed something you have quietly experienced, then know that this distance is not emptiness. It is not something broken, and it is not something that needs to be corrected. It is simply a different way of moving through the world. One that is often unseen, often misunderstood, but deeply human. And you are not alone in it. There are others who see what is not always said, who feel what is not always shown, who exist in that same quiet space between awareness and belonging. If you would like to stay connected to this kind of reflection, you can choose to subscribe and gently become part of a space where the hidden corners of the human experience are explored with care and understanding. And if you feel comfortable sharing, you can leave a comment, not because you have to, but because your words might help someone else feel a little less alone in their own silence. Take care of yourself. You deserve gentleness.